this crazy mono blue lantern deck that I found published in some challenge or MTGO league. I think it was a challenge actually. So, and this is an idea I toyed with before, but in a very specific configuration that I never stumbled across, and it's actual classic Lantern control. So Lantern of Insight, of course, means both players play with the top card of their library reveal. We use Codex Shredder and Pyxis of Pandemonium to manipulate the top of both players' libraries. Specifically, we make sure that our opponent doesn't draw anything that they can use to break out of our Ensnaring Bridge, Torpor Orb, Loch, in theory, that we can generate on them. And we can use Counterspell and Metallic Rebuke to facilitate that. We've got 4 Whir of Inventions that allow us to get some of our one-ofs, Grafdigger's Cage, Torpor Orb, and extra copies of Ensnaring Bridge to make sure that we can not die. And we're using Mox Opal and Mishra's Bauble to accelerate things out early. We've also got Urza Saga. Now, one of the funny things that's in here is Archway of Innovation. Blue tap, the next spell you cast this turn has Improvise. We can use that to get Ensnaring Bridge into play on turn 2 more easily, I suppose. Although with Mox Opal, that's very doable anyway. But it is possible that Archway of Innovation, coupled up with, say, 2 Mishra's Bauble and a 1-drop artifact, would get us to Ensnaring Bridge on turn 2 without a Mox Opal. So that could actually happen. And of course, the Pithing Needle is a very important part of these kind of decks, in that it shuts down a lot of our opponent's activated abilities that they could use to get out of it, out of the lock. Now, there's no Emrys in the main deck, no creatures of any kind, blanking all their creature removal. So, but in the sideboard, we have both Harbinger of Seas and Emry. We've got some Ashioks, we've got Emrakul, and then we've got some one-of artifacts that will be brought in specific matchups. Witchbane Orb, Void Mirror, Damping Sphere, Cursed Totem, Pithing Needle, and a Welding Jar. So it's probably going to be disastrous. The only way we have to win is to actually mill our opponent out. And that can take quite a bit of time. Hey, Stompy Wire. Enerdrazi. What is Enerdrazi? I assume that's some kind of mashup between energy and Eldrazi. There is we have a prediction on how often the non-bow of Bridge and Counter Magic will bite us in the ass. Yeah, it's an interesting question, Konana, because we can definitely, like, that can definitely be a problem. But at the same time, in theory, if you have 1 or 2 cards in hand only, you should be fine most of the time. There's not a lot of 1 and 2 power creatures that are going to kill you over the course of the game, but it is possible. What's up, JK Torborg? I hope you're doing super well. Thanks for that sub. We were back yesterday just a little bit, and then we're going to be back today just a little bit, and then we'll see how much streaming I can do over the next little while. Given an opponent is understanding that not jamming is the play. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I do assume that at this point, Lantern Control is mostly an unknown quantity. But a lot of energy players are very good players, and they have a lot of tools to get out and kill you. So, not currently on a boat. I'm not currently on a boat. I'm currently enjoying a Dr. Pepper on the land in sweet, sweet Canada, where it's always spring break. All right, first opponent. Let's rock and riggedy roll now. Yeah, I'm not fussed about how much energy there is, though. I mean, I think we're going to keep this. So we can whir out probably a bridge, although there are other things we might want to whir out. Hey, look, speak of the devil. Probably against energy right here. Oh no, it's Storm, which in game 1 I think we have next to no tools against. Is that correct? We have Grafdigger's Cage. We have Pithing Needle for their Ral. And I guess we have Counter Magic. So let's get as many artifacts as we can into play, and then we're gonna draw with the 2 baubles and try to pick up into whatever it is that we need. Okay, so they've got a Ren's Resolve on top. They probably keep that. Yeah, they do. Okay, I'll be drawing a Saga next turn. I'm looking for a blue source. Artist Talent. Okay, this thing is crazy. But unfortunately, it's crazy just as is. It's not going to be... if we needle it, it doesn't really do that much. So... Okay. So we immediately found a pretty brutally bad matchup for us, but that's okay. Although we did find a Grafdigger's Cage, so that ain't not bad. I'll take it. We're going to go ahead and play the Codex Shredder, play the Grafdigger's Cage. I don't want them drawing Manamorphose. It's one of their more powerful cards, so we can mill that. They can have that ritual, no problem. Grafdigger's Cage temporarily is going to deal with them being able to play what's it called? Oh, they did level it up. I guess. Oh, because yeah, they can use it as a RAL kind of deal. Okay, but for the moment, they don't have anything super dangerous for us. I need to draw something that is not Mox Opal. Oh, I guess I could use the Mox Opal to Whir. And the Whir gets me Torpor Orb, which doesn't help. Yeah, it just doesn't get me anything helpful here. So it's probably better to shuffle and try to draw into something that is better, huh? So let's do that. Another Saga. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll certainly... Mill Mox hit counter. Yeah. Oh, I could have milled during the upkeep. Well, let's throw down another Saga. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just making a beater, assuming that I don't die. There's a Past in Flames, which doesn't do anything for them, so we're going to leave that right where it is. Unfortunately, Artist Talent, I mean, they can really rip through their deck like crazy right now. So they draw. Ren's Resolve off the top. There's a Ral. I don't mind the Ral. Got a Ruby Medallion. They already have their cost reduction happening, so it's not really... What I want to do is cut down on... Yeah, I guess Ral is bad news. I could have needled... I could have gone to aggressively needle the flip side of Ral, and I probably should have. I'll also need to look up what he's called. Hopefully they'll play it. I probably want to mill this Valakut Awakening off their deck. If they cast anything that's going to allow them to get it, yeah. Let's get that out of here. Valakut Awakening just seems like way too much card selection. Okay, so they're going to pick up a Scalding Tarn. That's good. Oh, I can, hold on, I can put it on the Stream Decker for you. What is their list? I mean, it just looks like Storm to me. I don't know what all the cards exactly in Storm are supposed to be right now, but I mean, these seem like most of the cards that you would expect to see. So I'm not really sure what. Yeah, I don't know if they're playing any cards that shouldn't be there, or like if they are, they don't seem like they shouldn't be there. Okay, the other side of this is called Ral Leyline Prodigy. Okay, that's what we're gonna needle next turn if we can. No, we can. Yeah, but I mean, people on Magic Online, they'll run old lists all the time, right? Sometimes people will run old lists. Sometimes they run their own personal variations of lists. So it's like it's not super unusual. Yeah, like the Valakut is like one of those things where it's like I don't see that card all the time ever, but it's like if it appears in any red list, I'm not shocked. They've been drawing pretty badly. I think they have 2 lands in their hand. So if this Reckless Impulse is not great to them. Okay, there goes. They've got another Ral. They exile 2 cards. Ruby Medallion and Ral. They don't need more cost reducers, so that's good. They have a Valakut Awakening on top that they may or may not be able to get to. Okay, they can get to it. Yeah. But it only cycles like 2 cards. Storm count's on 10, so if they get lucky with the Ral flip, then we're just toast. But okay, they discard the Valakut Awakening and they pick up the top card, which was a land. There's now a Reckless Impulse on top. What's their last card in hand? Pretty sure I was supposed to know what it was, but Ruby Medallion. Oh, right, because this is non-creatures triggering that. So they get this Reckless Impulse. Well, that's bad. Now I can force a shuffle on them. I think I should, because otherwise I'm probably just dead. So hopefully they don't draw something as good as Reckless Impulse. And I'll get to a new lantern. Oh, they choose not to discard? Okay. Right. They have another. No, they don't. Okay. Is this just going to kill me? Yes. Shoot. Okay. Okay. Ral Leyline Prodigy. That's the name of the card. Okay. Okay. We're just going to go to game 2. Unfortunately, we just didn't have a main deck card other than Grafdigger's Cage that really slams them. We do have Damping Sphere now. Welding Jar to protect the Damping Sphere. No. This is casts, so no. And then no. I guess Witchbane Orb. Okay, so these 3 cards can come in here. Emry can also come in because they have they have next to no creature removal. I don't think I need multiple Pithing Needles. And then yeah. We don't need Torpor Orb. We don't need 3 Ensnaring Bridges. 1 is probably fine to keep in case they do end up going with goblins. And then... Yeah, I'm assuming they have... Maybe second needle's fine. Sure, we can do that. Probably don't need Underworld Cookbook. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have because you can discard the... So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to cut either Counterspells or Metallic Rebukes here. I'm going to cut some Metallic Rebukes. Am I? Yeah, because I think Counterspell is more cost prohibitive. What we're hoping is that Emry helps us set up into like card advantage central. Although I think I'm keeping that hand. This doesn't get me immediately to the hate that I need. But it probably gets us there fast between the Witching Well and the Mishra's Bauble. I mean, in theory, I should mulligan harder, but we're just going to keep this and see what happens. Bottom, top, Bauble. PS the turn. Okay, little surveil action on their side. They leave it on top. I want to see what that is. It's Wish. Okay. Cannot approve Mox on top. All right. I mean, obviously you're right because now I'm kind of stranded a little bit. They've got that Wish on top. We're going to get rid of that. That's out of here. Okay. Let's throw down the Welding Jar. And then next turn I can crack this Witching Well and draw some cards. So that ain't not bad. Okay. They got a Ruby Medallion. Yeah, this draw 2 better do something because I'm not doing anything else. One assumes it will. I mean, they haven't killed me yet. That's good. Oh, natural draw on the Damping Sphere. Well, that's pretty great. Okay, well. Lantern. Codex Shredder. Yeah, we can do this. No, wait, I wanted them drawing a mountain. Oh, well. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not worried about that. All right, let's see what happens. Do I want that Valakut Awakening for them? I do not. But they're probably going to fetch and shuffle anyway, right? Let's see what happens. We'll go in their upkeep. Okay. Let's exile the Valakut Awakening because that's too much card selection. Okay. They pick up Elegant Parlor. That's fine. So I have a Welding Jar. I have a Damping Sphere. I have a Grafdigger's Cage. We naturally drew all of them. Okay, they play Ral. They attempt to do so for 2 mana, even though he costs 1. As you do. Okay. Upkeep, I'm going to mill myself. Because I don't... no, I can Pyxis, because I also don't want them to have that. Lantern. I'll pick up a Lantern. So that's a Spider-Man card. Oh, Firebrain Scheme? No, that can't be a Spider-Man card. Okay, Desperate Ritual on top. We've got Whir coming in next turn. And that should something. It's hero something? I don't understand. They're going with the Ral beats. Okay. Okay, they're surveilling. Do they want the Desperate Ritual? They don't, but I don't want them to have this Reckless Impulse. Heroes Hangout is a Spider-Man card. Okay, let's get rid of that Reckless Impulse. They can have a ritual. Sure. That's the in-universe version. Okay, so let me get this. So is this the Spider-Man set, that weird triangle? Because that doesn't. But then Firebrain Scheme is the Chandra and Koth version of. So here's the funny thing. So on. Okay, I've seen that card. So I was making fun of this on Faithless Brewing. And I was joking with Dan that, like, hey, if you don't like the fact that there's a bunch of Vija, exactly. It's like, hey, if you don't want to play against like Peter Parker, then just call it like Arachnoid Combatant and pretend that it's not real. And that's essentially what happened. They created two versions of the card, right? There's like the actual Marvel character version, and then there's like a safe for digital IP version. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this Manamorphose on the top of their deck. I don't like that. Triangle is when they get rights to digitally reproduce IP property. Yeah, okay. Can they have this Reckless Impulse? Man, I want this Emry. I guess I could Whir, and then that would shuffle my deck, and then I could Pyxis. Sorry. Enters with an additional. Okay. Okay. We're going to let this go. So I still have Damping Sphere in play. What I need to really watch out for is if they get access to a way to remove the Damping Sphere. Might want to consider some Spellskites in this list. I don't know what I would replace, but Spellskite is always like the kind of go-to, be-all, end-all of like preventing your shit from dying. Well, I guess if I Pyxis, then eventually... Oh, each player and puts all permanent cards that they... Oh, okay. Never mind then. Well, I guess they don't have a lot of doubles that... They're trying to do stuff over there, huh? Is there a reason they're holding priority with this? Uh-huh. 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 They optimized flip chances. Is that true? Oh, well, there's the Ral. But I can needle that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to needle him now. Okay. Okay. So we needle the Ral. And then I can Pyxis the top of both decks and get rid of that prismatic ending. And they had another one immediately on top. So I guess I lantern them. Okay. Now the number of spells played this turn is 4. But they have a lot of mana. So they will be able to play something most likely. Oh, I see, Konana. I see how that works. I understand how that works now. Okay. Yes, I understand. 2 cards in exile. Wood of Foothills Ren's Resolve. They fetch. Yeah. I understand. Spells currently cast 5 additional mana. So they can't play anything. Perfect. So we find a Codex Shredder here. I would love to draw that Metallic Rebuke. Let's not allow them to have Reckless Impulse. Desperate Ritual is fine. Okay. Probably in a good spot here. Sure. Unfortunate, but all right. So Ral and Past in Flames go into exile. Fine, no problem. And they scoop it up. They scoop it up from that point. They've had enough. Even though Metallic Rebuke at that point wasn't going to do much. I think because of the way these games are going to go, we're going to go out the counterspells and in the counterspells and out the Metallic Rebukes. The more I was thinking about it, it's like more that matters. And I could play some Harbingers of the Sea because I think that mostly will stop them from having white mana, although of course they have Manamorphose. No. Harbinger with Sagas now is quite nice. Did they change the rules, or are you making a joke about the fact that it would kill my Sagas? Because I'm not entirely sure that they haven't changed the rules and made that so that they did change the rules. Okay, so what is the new ruling that Blood Moon and Harbinger do not? Okay. I wonder how they did that. Sagas don't die now. Interesting. Do I need this bridge? Yeah, I do, because they can wish. They stay with their current ability. They tap for blue and retain the... Oh, so if you play the Harbinger when you have it on 2, you can just keep making tokens and it'll never die? That's crazy. Can I keep this on the draw? No. No, we can't keep this. We're going to mulligan. This is not a great hand, but I think this is what we're keeping. I probably should have bought him the cookbook. I don't really need it here and more. They really want to avoid feel bads with the Final Fantasy sagas. What are the Final Fantasy sagas? I think I missed those entirely. I remember the Final Fantasy spoilers. Let's see if we can get them with the needle. Probably not, right? Yeah. You always got to try. You don't have to try, but we'll do it anyway. We'll just proactively do that. So what are the Final Fantasy? Are there Final Fantasy Saga lands? Oh, I see. Interesting. Well, that's a whole... Yeah. All right, let's hit a Mox, please. Well, we hit a Mishra's Bauble and a Grafdigger's Cage. Creature cards. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Oops. That's okay. They made a bunch of creature sagas, so they have limited lifespan. Yeah, but what does that have to do with Blood Moon? The sagas are the summons. No, in case they lost type or shenanigans. I'm not sure how that would happen, but okay. Well, unfortunately, we didn't hit our third land. Oh, they're not drawing a land this turn. That's fantastic. Let's Bauble. Oh, Dress Down. That's right. Okay. Well, they kept a risky hand, and it looks like they may be thoroughly punished for that. Yeah. They're not drawing out anytime soon. So it looks like we get a game 1 match win. Yep. We're on the board. Interesting. Yeah. Things that say lose all other types and then become... Oh, Sven Speeder Sven. We are going to die. I really want to play Sven's deck later, the Blue-Red Wizards. And I'm definitely going to. Witching Well. Bottom and bottom. I know we need a third blue for Whir, but... Blood Moon lets you keep your Saga. That's crazy. So that... Okay. I have ideas. They're not good, but boy do I have them. Okay. Oh, we're going to get Flame of Anord. Oh, no. They Flare of Denialed my Codex Shredder. Wow. That's wild. I don't know what's happening. Am I about to get Blood Mooned? But that wouldn't... And then also... No, I'm not. Hell yeah, Twin? I don't think they're playing Twin. I think they just play Blue Moon. They've played this deck a lot in recent challenges. Throw down a second Saga. Start making some chonky boys. Shunky boys. Undertrap Trainer. Yeah, I love this deck. It's so sweet. Okay. Next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. Okay. It's Is It Wizards. It's the new, like, it's just new Is It Wizards. But they also play 2 of the, like, super mutant turtle beatdown guy. Along with 2 Arena of Glories. Which is very sick. It's so freaking cool. The Ring of Fire. Oh, love is sweet. Hearts like ours meet. All right. What do you... Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, send me a message in chat that his food is here. So it's kind of nice for Amulet players for a while Belcher was present in the meta. But I don't remember winning any Magic games. Thanks. Yeah. But there's, in my mind, there was a potential to make a Mox Opal Red Prison deck. And that deck, in theory, wanted to play Urza Saga, but it also wanted to play 4 Blood Moons. And that interaction meant that, like, you wouldn't want to play the Saga in that deck, but now you can. So that seems like fun. I'm sure nobody remembers it, but once upon a time I made that crazy Sonic Pyro deck, and I had ideas for how to do it again. Well, meowdy there, material squirrel. Living as a material squirrel. Living as a material squirrel. Living as a material squirrel. Material. Chitter, chitter, chitter. Your squirrel has several materials? Are any of them flesh? I do enjoy that some people who have had like limb replacements or something like that are like, I'm bionic. And it's like, you absolutely are. You absolutely are. That is definitely a definition, and that is awesome. Regardless of the result, just go play this deck as brave. Absolutely. That's why we're here, Festo, because we have no fear. And also no shame, which, you know, is a mixed bag. Okay, we're going to make the Saga token. And then I think... obviously I can Needle the Fable. Yeah, I'm really confused by it, Kona, but I think it's just such a hard, like, it just finishes the game so fast. I think I'm supposed to grab the Grafdigger's Cage to stop them from snapcastering me. The other option is to Needle the Flipped Fable, because at the moment I don't... oh, but I have a Needle in my hand. All right, let's get the Grafdigger's Cage. I have a Pyxis in play, so let's play a Lantern. And then next turn we can Needle. Okay. So hopefully they don't just have the next Flame of Anor. Okay, so we'll let them draw Scalding Tarn. Okay, we got their token. Or their flipped reflection. Oh. Well, they can have the heat. Although that's going to take them to the 4-card types. Yeah, that's a shame. So they'll be able to heat my construct. Only heat in exile, yep. I actually want to draw this island? Yeah, I do. Preordain. Okay, scry 2, then draw, so I can't interrupt that. I'll let them have the Arena Glory. They could shuffle again if they want to. Let's go for the Mox. Yeah. And then a counterspell on top. Let's needle reflection. Yeah, they sacked Scalding Tarn. That makes sense. They have another Arena of Glory on top. Not that it's legendary. Oh, we're gonna play that at some point, Unbreakable Wit, because that deck is so sweet. Let's play this Pyxis. Okay. So I have an 8/8 construct. That's kind of cool. I've shut off their reflection of Kiki Jiki. That's kind of cool. So we're kind of doing stuff. The downside is they do have a lot of ways to manipulate their deck. The upside is I now have 2 Pyxises, and I'm about to draw a counterspell unless I have to Pyxis this turn. So if I don't have to Pyxis this turn, I don't want to. Oh, here they're gonna combo me. They're gonna do the thing. Yeah, they're doing the thing. No, it's like a 7/5. Oh, this is new. Twin Flame Tyrant. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, it deals double that damage instead. Wow. I never even saw that card. I should have, because it's in starter. Okay, let's see if they have Unholy Heat. They do. They just drew too many of those. So that sucks. If a source you control. Wow. So that's just double damage on other creatures? So I'm just like dead? Is that what just happened? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Jesus. Well, that's new. Okay, well. Well, I was only dead by 1, but yeah. Fairly dead. Okay. Probably not playing Harbinger of the Seas here. Probably not playing Witchbane Orb here. Void Mirror would shut off their they do play free spells. I don't think that's worth doing. Damping Sphere does make it more difficult for them to like double spell with like Snapcasters and all that. So it's probably not a bad idea. We had Torpor Orb in the main deck already. We just didn't draw a Whir or any way to get it out. I'll keep the 2 needles because I'm pretty sure I should have 2 needles here. Maybe we'll just trim a Metallic Rebuke. See what happens. Yeah, we just didn't draw like a lot of stuff that actually could interact with them in any way. Sure. This is slow, but it does stuff. Much like me, this hand is slow, but it does stuff. Sure. Okay. So I can aggressively burn one of these. They mill over a counterspell. Okay. Thundertrap Trainer. What if we didn't? Cool. I don't need to jam this Pyxis, although I guess it doesn't really affect my overall amount of mana, so I might as well. Okay. I kind of wish that I just had a artifact that I could get, like a Maze Mind Tome that just like is card advantage in this matchup. Is ironically, like in this matchup versus most other modern matchups, I actually like need something that just creates value for me. At the moment, I don't have anything. Okay, that's good. I think the way Saga's positioned in the metagame right now, I don't think a lot of people are packing a lot of answers for it. So I can Whir for bridge in response. I don't think that I need to. Although I guess the subtlety will become a problem pretty quickly if I don't. You can start the tracker of Counterspell and Ensnaring Bridge being 0% awkward so far. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, I can just spew the Counterspell to get it out of my hand, so I can go down to 0 cards for bridge, which may end up biting me in the ass, but maybe not. Did I bring in the Welding Jar? I bet I didn't. I didn't, but I should have done because they are on red removal. Well, I'm not letting them draw that. Okay. So they're going to draw the Thunder Trap Trainer. If I had the Welding Jar, then this Urza Saga would get that, and I would be very happy. I don't. So that's less than great. Might as well make my constructs. Now, what am I getting here? Oh. Apparently what I'm getting is nothing. Neat. Good for them. All right. We're cooking. All right, opponent, you may draw that Scalding Tarn. Uh-oh. Oh, they have Dress Down? Brutal. Oh, and there's their Twin Flame Tyrant. Well, let's get rid of that guy. I should have done an end step, but whatever. They pick up a Scalding Tarn, okay. And I have Whir on top. That's kind of awesome. And they have EE. What the flip? I love blue-red players. They just don't care. They'll just play some of everything. Screw you. Okay. I have 3 face-down cards in exile, but I put their guy in exile, so there's no way I'm using that. Okay. Do I want to do any of these things? I don't have any creatures in my graveyard. Well, we can rebuild. Do wish that I had the Welding Jar, but not to be. Okay, we'll let this go. See if they fetch, then I'll whir for something. Oh, I should probably... Okay, hold on. I almost walked into a Spell Pierce, but let's not do that. I'm getting Torpor Orb here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Card Advantage Engine does machines? It's not an engine. I did read that card. I mean, it does do some okay stuff. We had Lantern on top. I'm aware of that, but I have no way to affect the Lantern. Like, I have no way. I have no Mill Rocks left because they had EE. Out of all the things they could have had, they have freaking EE. Okay, that's good. I would say we take 2 damage and whir for rock after drawing a Lantern. Okay. Probably was a good option. I just didn't even consider it. Okay. Polluted Delta. Okay. Man, they are making a lot of headway through their deck. Jeez. Playing 19 lands. Gonna draw all of them, apparently. They're probably playing 4 Flame of Anors. I've exiled 1. There it is. That's the card I was expecting at some point to just end me. It's okay. I think we were heavily disadvantaged in this matchup. They've got way too many tools. This is just not the kind of deck we're built to do well against. They're not linear. Yeah, Flame of Anor waiting room. Damn. I mean, they're just cooking through their deck for it. I've got a Codex Shredder. All right, we're just gonna tap out here. I'm not interested in playing out the rest of that. They're gonna find the Flame of Anor before I'm able to put together anything reasonable. This is the 4-color deck you played. All right, let's take a look. Oh, baby. Okay, we're going to play this. We're absolutely going to play this. Yes. We're playing this. I don't know when, but we're playing this. Oh, you even have Jason there? Yo, my dog. This is the good shit right here. This is how you play Magic. This is how you play Magic the Goddamn Gathering. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, we're on the draw. 2 Witching Wells, Counterspell, Saga. I want to keep this. Okay, maybe this time it's energy? Nope. Maybe it's prowess? Okay. Well, it's not wizards. It's not specifically wizards. Could be some modern evolution of Murktide. So put Needle on top and then Whir on top of that. That can take that Whir. Could be Jeskai Blink. That's okay. Do I want this Needle in this matchup? I assume not. But I don't mind having the 1-mana artifact. But I'm probably playing Counterspell next turn, unless I play the 2 1-mana artifacts. And then I have enough to go for... Okay, I see. So we're... Okay. Or a bad draw from Zoo? Do you think they would go Steam Vents? Oh, maybe. Look, could be Jeskai, though. I'm assuming it's Jeskai. Jeskai Blink nonsense. Okay. So I have to play Island, Island, Island if I want to Whir. Let's go Witching Well first. Okay, the Mox changes things. That's why I played that in that order. Oh, but that I should have stacked the... This is what happens when you don't play enough Modern. Or any format in general. Like, I was aware of the Ragavan on turn 1, and then I immediately forgot about it. And so they're going to take my Mox if they go through with their attack. Which they will. So they're going to Mox, and they have treasure tokens, so it'll go on pretty easily. That's really unfortunate. And I could have easily stacked it correctly, but I just forgot. And I kind of needed things to go that way. I don't even know what I'm supposed to name against them, if anything. I'm going to go to Fairy Time Raveler because there's almost no way they're playing it, but they could, so why not? Tev is okay? Okay. What are they? Oh, they play this thing. Well, that's terrible because Pithing Needle just doesn't do anything. Fable Flip, yeah. I mean, I can always, like, if they choose to flicker it, I can change it, but then they can activate their thing, so. Fable's always a safe choice, yeah. Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Oh, cool. They're playing main deck March of Otherworldly Light. Of course they are. Okay, so at least well, at least they burned that, so in theory, not next turn, but the turn after, I'll be able to Whir for Bridge. Okay, they warp the Riddler. They have 2 cards in hand, so they don't get to do crazy bananas draws. Oh, Felia attacks. All right, we're done here. Let's go game 2. Okay. Felia attacks and flickers. Yeah. I saw it. I saw it fairly quickly after I didn't see it. Definitely playing Harbinger here. Okay. Torpor Orb for sure. I think we want. Grafdigger's Cage I think we don't need. Although they play Flage, so actually, yeah, maybe we do. I think I'm just doing down on counterspells. Is that right? Or maybe not. That seems fine. They can run 4 yeah, because of the because of all the Eldrazi decks. You would say counter magic. Well, we have 4 Metallic Rebukes because I don't know how much we need, and I don't think it's more than that many because they're also playing to the board fairly aggressively. I guess Harbinger's like trying to cheese them, but they have a lot of removal, so it's probably no good. And also, they play Solitude, right? Oh, that's right. They use Consign to scam their own cards. That yeah. Okay. So we're probably just going with a mostly unchanged list here. Because the thing is, Welding Jar is not going to help enough because a lot of their stuff is exile based removal. You'd board the Solitudes out? Yeah, they probably will. But I don't know how much I can actually take advantage of it. All right. On the play, let's do it, and let's see what happens. Maybe we get lucky. I'm still also like relearning Modern, a new Modern that I'm not aware of, so I don't mind getting beat up a little bit. This hand is fine. This is unfortunately another one of those matchups where it's like we have some pretty good Torpor Orb is very good against them in theory, but in practice they often are able to exile it because they play March. Oop. Bottom top. It's actually a really good draw. I don't want to see a turn 1 monkey. Good. Played a couple regulars with blue, white, red Felia. And the thing I hate the most is how helpless the deck is against combo. But what combo? Not creature combo. Not Yawgmoth. Not what is it? Leo or Donatello? Yeah, you're talking Neoform and Belcher. Oh, it's weak against the Yawgmoth, really? Okay. Wouldn't have expected that. Hard to interact with Cauldron. That's true. Okay, so we have Whir and Metallic Rebuke up here. Feels pretty good. I wish I could Whir for a Harbinger of the Seas, but you know. So this is an attacks trigger, but if we were for the Torpor Orb now, it means that whatever they want to play with triggers won't trigger. So I think we do it. I understand that we're going shields down against their ability to just exile the Torpor Orb, but that's also just going to be the case. It's almost impossible for us to guarantee that we're going to have it protected. Okay, that's great. Seeing that coming in tapped is awesome. Flage to the graveyard. Okay. Oh, but they can blink the Torpor Orb. But they don't have blue to play the thing right now. So it's okay for now. Okay, so now I can get a bridge and at the same time counter their counter. Oh, no, I can't. That's not how improvise works. Okay. But we can just Metallic Rebuke the warp on the thing. Oh, and they want a 3-mana 6/6? Yeah, I suppose. Because that was huge. Okay. God, this thing is so annoying. Well, that's a really good draw. Consign. Okay. Oh, right. This just has a static text that affects whenever you would draw cards. That's terrifying. Time to get the bridge? Yeah, I really want to. They can consign the comeback trigger for Torpor Orb. Well, apparently they don't want the consign. They're shuffling it away. So let's see what they end up with. But it's probably time to get the bridge. Yeah, I think we're going to. Yeah, we're going to stop the Felia from attacking by doing this. There we go. And in theory, they can't just remove anything because they probably would have done it already, right? Or maybe they thought they were outmaneuvering me with the Quantum Riddler Felia, like the way they were sequencing that. Maybe they don't actually have a march or anything relevant. If they have a march and then something else, we're in trouble, but it looks like they don't. So if this is currently not a problem, we're going to let them draw the Ragavan, because Ragavan certainly doesn't get them out of the situation they're in right now. And we're going to needle their Reflection of Kiki Jiki. I mean, in theory, I could hold on to the needle in case I saw something. Yeah, I mean, I can mill Teferi, right? And I'm not... Actually, yeah, Teferi is more dangerous. Otawara? Now we're talking. Yeah, because they don't have one in play or in their graveyard. Okay. Grafdigger's Cage is on top, so I can draw 2 on their end step with Witching Well, and then definitely still get down to 1 card in hand. You didn't play Otawara? I think they do. I think you'd be crazy to play a blue deck in Modern and not play any copies of Otawara. I mean, it's possible, but... Perfect. Okay, they can draw a Flage. I don't care. Yeah, I guess the Flage deck doesn't love the mono blue land, but then again, like, it's not... Is it a danger? Like, I don't think it's a danger. I don't think it's really going to cause you problems, right? I mean, I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but my feeling is that it's not going to cause you problems. We can draw a Mox Opal in an effort to... What are they doing? Solitude? That's fine. It doesn't do anything. We're just going to get more mill rocks here. Oh, that's a great pickup. Second bridge. Let's go Pyxis, so I can exile stuff. Okay. So I have a Lantern, a Codex Shredder, and a Pyxis. So we're in a good shape there. Quantum Riddler doesn't do anything. We won. I mean, not technically. But we most likely will win. It's very difficult for them to get out of this lock. We just want to get to even more mill rocks if possible. I'll keep Witching Well on top. Felia. They can have another Felia, sure. So 39 to 40 cards. Bottom. Keep the lantern on top. Can draw now. I don't want to draw now. I mean, it's possible for them to hit a sequence of like 3 things that disrupt me in a row, right? I think it's over too, but that doesn't mean it is over. I thought I saved target on that. Okay. Okay, that time it worked. Saga's good. Gives me another mill rock. That's what we were worried about. And that's fine, because we'll mill that. Perfect. Okay. We can draw 2 here. Yeah, they don't have any 1-power creatures. So if I draw land, it's not a problem. Probably won't draw land, but if I do, it's not a problem. Oh, Harbinger. Harbinger will... Oh, actually, I don't want to play the Harbinger. You got a notes in an octave? You have to see what's up. I mean, I can hold on to the Harbinger for a turn and then just play it the turn after the Saga pops. Harbinger is construct maxing? Right, but I don't care. I don't need to do that. Like, in fact, it would require me removing my own bridge at some point, which I don't even know that I can do. I mean, yeah, I could set it up so I have like 15, like 30 constructs, but it just doesn't, I don't think that wins me the game any faster than what I'm already doing. Lantern. Oh, I picked the wrong. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I wanted Codex Shredder. Codex Shredder was the card I wanted to pick up there. They could sign the lantern, sure. You got me. Oops. Man. Dang, yo, this opponent. Galvanic Discharge. No, they had an out for the Harbinger. Oh. Folks, we're dead. I mean, there's just no out now. They got a Quantum Riddler on top. They'll probably surveil it. No, they didn't. They can have a Quantum Riddler. It doesn't do anything. I have 2 bridges, so it's like, yeah, it's not even... Cool. And we're on the top as well, so... I'm not sure, Daiko. No, dichotomy? Daika? I'm trying to remember this. I did know this at some point. Daiko. Okay. There's the Teferi. The scry on Wishing Well is just so premium land. I think that's the case, yes. Paying costs? What do they got? Flage. That's fine. They already had one. Does not help them. I think the thing about Witching Well, and we've already done it, is we've sacrificed it many times already. But in the early game, it scries, and it is just an artifact for your artifact count, which you kind of need. So I think it's just generally worth it. It seems to be that it is just generally worth doing to play the, because you need a density of artifacts. And I assume it's better than Surveillance Cam. Now, Surveillance Cam is part of a combo. I don't know how that combo works. But I imagine it's not very good because I haven't seen anyone even really talk about what it is. Okay. I'm gonna mill you. It's Emry and it and Mox Opal and or Mox Mox whatever it's called. Mox Legend. And you mill them out, I think. Gently lace and a pretty face. Mystical Dispute. Yeah, you can have that. Actually, I'm going to Pyxis this turn just to speed up the kill. Oh, Wrath of the Skies. Get that out of here. Absolutely. I don't think the cam is part of the combo with Emry. It's just a 1 blue artifact with 4 mana sack, draw 2 cards, attack your opponent's stuff. And oh, yeah. Okay. I was not actually exactly aware of what that card does, so that explains something that I was not aware of. Ephemerate. Sure. It's rebounding. I'm glad they're wasting both of our time. Solitude? All right. They're down to 13 cards, so this is almost over because I have 4 mill rocks. Oh, and Johnny Cash's Hurt comes on as my opponent is railing against their doom. Beautiful. It doesn't get better than that. My sweetest friend, everyone I know goes away in the end. When I do this song, though, I'm going to do the octave flip here and kind of borrow from both versions. Okay, I'm going to take a second to hit the washroom while we're in sideboarding. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. The reason I would want to play that, Daiko, is if I could also be playing the Emry combo. If I could play like the Emry combo with that card and then also playing like maybe a Prison-y deck. Like if there's a way to fold them together. This is loose, but I'm going to keep it in this matchup because we probably need the redundancy. Okay. Bam. Damn. Hey, thanks for the follow there, friend. Do I want to get this Mox down right now? No, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't currently tap for mana. Oh, there's a Mox on top of my library that Ragavan gets to steal? Well, that sucks. I mean, it's not going to be active yet, but it will soon be active. That's a shame. Okay, Witching Well is a big draw for us, though, because that gets our Mox active. Got a Mystical Dispute or... Probably want the Metallic Rebuke. So we'll put the Pyxis on top. We're so close to kind of being in an okay spot. So they draw Quantum Riddler. This turn, they'll just, if they want, they could just straight up pay 5 for it. Which is scary as hell. Not worried about the creature part. Because in theory, I'll be able to get the bridge going against that. But... Okay. Oh, they can play the Pyxis, and because there's a lantern, they can fight the lantern fight with me. That's kind of funny. I wonder if they will. I wonder if they will. It's an interesting question. If I were them, I absolutely would, but... There's a good chance they just play the Riddler. And that seems like what they're going to do right now. And there comes Quantum Riddler. So this turn, we're just going to cast a bridge. Because they have a blue open, which could be Mystical Dispute. Oh, I guess it could also be Consign. Oh, but I had the Metallic Rebuke there, so I guess I would have been okay against that. And then next turn, I pick up this Underworld Cook. Oh, no, they're going to get the cookbook. If they want it. God, I hate this stupid monkey. I mean, I don't mind them having an Underworld Cookbook. It doesn't do anything for them much, but I kind of wanted to have it. Oh, well. I mean, I guess I'm glad that they're having the Underworld Cookbook instead of something that's like actually relevant. Saga. Thank you. Thank you for getting me to that Saga. Oh no, opponent, you're... Oh no, don't dig me deeper in my deck. Oh no. Do I want to unload this Metallic Rebuke just to do it? So next turn I play Saga, and I can Whir, but Ragavan can still attack me. But I want the Rebuke for... Okay. No, I want the Rebuke for them. Okay. 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 I want to Whir now. And what I'm worrying for is Torpor Orb. Hold on, I screwed up my tapping. Blue, blue, blue. 1. Is it Torpor Orb? I think it's Torpor Orb. Pretty sure it's Torpor Orb, because I kind of need it. This puts me down to 1 card in hand, so regardless of what happens in this fight, I'm now stopping the Ragavan from attacking me. So I'm pretty happy with the result, no matter what. Okay, and then did resolve, so we get the Torpor Orb. Now I could... Instead of Torpor Orb, I could get things to... I could just get a Mill Rock. To be perfectly honest, it's probably better because I haven't seen them pick up anything that can get out of my lock right now. And yeah, I think this is just better. Because it's too easy for them to draw into something now. They're using the cookbook. Discarding island. Making a food. Oh, because they want Quantum Riddler to start drawing 2 cards a turn. That's a pain in the ass. Okay, so we need to find a needle to turn off the cookbook. That's really funny. They're shuffling. Okay. Thundering Falls. They're going to get rid of the Sacred Foundry. Counter target artifact creature planeswalker. Its controller creates... Okay. This is Swan Song, basically? But different. What is this? Oh, is this Flage out of the graveyard? It's Flage out of the graveyard. Okay. Okay. I don't mind them drawing this right now. I don't need Mishra's Bauble. It doesn't help me. There's a Pithing Needle that I needed. Don't mind if I needle that. I don't know how that was a joke, but we tried. Underworld Cookbook is needled. Okay. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Okay, so as long as we... Artifact, creatures, or planeswalkers. We don't have creatures or planeswalkers, so we just know that they have a 1 blue counter for an artifact in their hand. But that does not work on Whir, and it does not work on Saga. So we're just going to pick up more mill rocks, and I think this game is essentially over. Could also get the Torpor Orb. But I'm not worried about that. Oh, don't like that. Solid dude? Okay. I can get some life. Okay, let's... I don't want you to get Quantum Riddler. Consign to memory is fine. Tap for 1. Get a mill rock. And since we have the window, I think this is where I'm going to grab the Torpor Orb. So I have a Pyxis and a Codex Shredder. And then otherwise, I think I'm pretty safe. They have one piece of counter magic in hand. They're about to draw another piece of counter magic. Consign, specifically, which can counter triggered abilities that I have, but that's okay. So they have counter magic that's stuck in their hand. So they can't get down to enough cards for Quantum Riddler to do its thing for the moment. Get rid of this Felia. Let's get rid of that Ragavan. Okay. Good. So slow and steady. Codex Shredder on top is sick. Actually, let's go ahead and draw that now. With Wishing Well. Let's see what our other draw is. Opal? Sure. Oh, they can counter this. Oops. Same with the Mox Opal. And I don't want to let them do that. Yeah, oops. Okay, let's leave this one card in my hand. Oh, but then eventually I'm going to need to play it out anyway. Oh, well. We'll figure it out when we get there. It's like, this is a difficult game. There's a lot of things going on here. Yeah, I figured they would do that. So now they're going to draw 2 cards at once, which is scary because that could instantly get them out of the situation because I can't see the second card. Shoot. Okay, the Ephemerate does get seen by me, though. And Ephemerate doesn't do anything. So I get to see what's coming. Is there anything I can do about this Quantum Riddler? No. I don't want to draw this Lantern. Oh, I should have Pyxis. It's fine. But I do want to draw that Saga. I just don't want to play spells right now. Okay, you can have another Quantum Riddler. Actually, do I really want to let them do that? Well, I have to, because otherwise they could actually draw the cards that, you know, get them out of this. Oh, shoot. They had something else they could play. Oh, right, the Ephemerate. I probably shouldn't let them have a second Quantum Riddler then. Because that replacement effect is just so brutal. They're going to shuffle? Okay. They're going to surveil. Okay, they have a Felia on top. Assuming they keep that on top. Because they don't care about it. Oh, and no, they didn't. And the Quantum Riddler went right back on top. And then immediately got removed. Okay, so they're going to draw 2 here. We will get to see what the second one is. Ragavan and Flage, no problem. But at the same time, they're decking faster. So we just need to get a little bit lucky. Yeah, that's fine. Why not Pyxis the Riddler? I probably should have done. I was playing around something that I didn't need to play around in a way that I didn't need to play around it, I think. So basically the answer is because I'm bad. Whoops. But once again, they're about to have 2 Counterspells in hand, but I can't not play anything. God, I really wish I had my cookbook, but I don't. Okay, they didn't spew the counter there. That's good for me. But they are about to draw 2. One of them is Mystical Dispute, which doesn't really matter, but the other thing could be dangerous. Consign to Memory. It's not. Okay. Man, they must have such a tiny number of relevant hits. I'm surprised. I thought they had a lot more ways to get out of this lock, but it just seems like they don't. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have 2 cards in hand. I think they're both counters. Yeah, they are. Cool. And now they have a Galvanic Discharge, which they're just going to have to spew at some point. Pyxis. Okay. Harbinger's good. Let's mill their Quantum Riddler. Don't mind Harbinger on my side. Oh, but they have the thing. They're going to turn into a bird. Oh, or they have the Galvanic Discharge. Oh, well. I mean, I can't not play it. I need to get down to 1 card in hand, so doesn't really matter. There it is. Okay. Over to you, nerd. Draw your Arena of Glory. Excellent. Mill. Pyxis. Okay. They have a March on top. That's not fun. I mean, it's not that dangerous, but yeah, there it is. Pyxis. Get rid of that March. Okay. They do get a double draw here. So it could be a little dangerous, but we'll see. I mean, I have double bridge. That's like the 1 card. And the second draw there was Solitude, and Wrath of the Skies is like the one thing I needed to make sure that they didn't get, and they didn't get it. So get that out of here. Good. Ragavan, no problem. Wishing Well. Make a wish, make a wish. Second Lantern is fine. Why not? Draw the Lantern and something else. Cool. Oops. Oh, this is okay. They only get to attack with Ragavan. Yeah, that's fine. I have a 9/9 and a 2/2. Dispute. Oh, I guess giving them a target for their counter was no good. Stupid, complicated ass game. Oh well. Probably gonna be okay. Okay, hold on. They want to draw a Galvanic Discharge instead of a Ragavan? Okay. Solitude? Yeah, that's fine. Hello. Perfect. And they drew Strict Serenade. Okay. So it really seems like their whole strategy was based on the concept of them being able to stop my stuff coming into play for the most part, which they didn't. They don't actually have that many ways. I mean, that's them ripping a few in a row. But They have Strict Serenade in hand. They're going to do that. That's fine. Because I have a Whir anyway. Oh, they didn't do it? Okay, well, game over. User wins. Game over. User wins. Come on, baby. That's fine. Oh no, no Grafdigger's Cage for me. I'll never financially recover. Oh, and there's the Wrath of the Skies. Gonna get got again. They just keep drawing the counter magic, but not the Wrath of the Skies. This should be the second one that goes, so. Okay. They're also on 8 cards in library, so I can essentially just burn them out now. Oh, I don't have... Doesn't matter. Doodly, doodly, doodly. That's just the way it is. Get that Wrath of the Skies out of here. Nobody wants to see your Wrath of the Skies, you nerd. You can't Wrath nothing. So we punted a bunch in this game, in this match, but looks like we're still gonna walk away with the win. Just because they did not have anywhere near enough actual ways to break out of our prison. But they're doing stuff. Oh no, Galvanic Discharge. Okay, but you are just dead, opponent. I'm pretty sure at this point you're just holding on to hope that somehow I will just not take the win. I'm taking the win, by the way. I will be taking the win. There it goes. Pithing Needle on you are already dead for sure. I don't do that, but... So 2-1. We definitively lost to Sven Speeder Sven, but I think, first of all, phenomenal Magic the Gathering player. And second of all, just a deck that has a lot of main deck ways to beat up on us. So it's not really. It's not something you could expect to beat. Gonna make quinoa and gochujang shrimp for dinner. So that's gonna be a good time. Okay, this hand is not something you're gonna keep in Modern. I am not gonna keep this hand in Modern. That hand is something I am going to keep in Modern. And we're going to bottom one of these baubles. The double bauble would give me turn 1 Metallic Rebuke. We're going to bottom this cookbook. How do you do the shrimp? So I just cook them with sesame oil or olive oil if I want. But basically I just put a sauce on them that's a combination of gochujang, honey, and gochujang, honey, and sesame oil. And it is fantastic. So we're probably against this like blue-black Wan Shi Tong mid-range deck. Which means I want to get these baubles. I want to crack these baubles when I want to not get Orcish Bowman. Orcish Bowmasters? No marinade? No, I don't tend to marinate shrimp. I'm sure you can. I like to cook them dry. Like I like to get them dry so they're nice and crispy and then sauce them afterwards. It's kind of like doing a chicken wing, right? I would say with most meat, I cook it like dry, like patted dry with oil, like a light oil, because then you get a nice crisp. Marinade's good if you're doing it on the grill, I guess, but I do all my cooking in a kitchen, so here comes the work. So the nice thing about this matchup is even in the game one, and even if they're on the Grixis version of that deck, sorry, if they're on the Grixis version of that deck, in game one they don't have a lot of outs for my field full of artifacts. And blue and black in general don't have artifact destruction. They will have counter magic, but I also have instant speed. I can also play at instant speed with Whir and such, so I do have to watch out for Wan Shi Tong taking advantage of my Whir timing, but it's a good chance we can play around that. We'll see. I'm snapping off both these baubles here. I don't need the artifact count anymore. What you got going on over there? What are you doing? Sheoldred's Edict? Boy, is that not going to do anything to me. Man, I guess they can just Bowmaster me on end step, huh? Yeah. Consult the star charts. Look at the top X cards of your library system. Whoa. That card is sick. Okay, we're going to bobble them again. Field is fine. If they want to Bowmaster me during their upkeep, that's fine. Nope. Okay, good. Saga is not great, and Archway is also not great. But it is what it is. Oh, they're playing Cling to Dust? Ah, brutal. Ah, crap. I just put it in the graveyard for them. Ah, it sucks to be me. Well, Counterspell is a good pickup. On the plus side, at least I don't really need to use anything in my graveyard, so it's not gonna... Oh, they're gonna make the most of their mana? Maybe they're gonna go field... Wan Shi Tong? No. Snap. And a snap for consult the star charts? It's probably fine. Snap's not gonna kill me very fast. And yeah, okay. So they get to dig 4. But they have a chunk of mana that's tied up on this turn unless they want me to start getting constructs, which I guess they can let me do because they have like an infinite number of removal cards in their hand that are just wasting away. There's the second field. So maybe they go Wanshi Tong field. Pretty sure I'm supposed to counter the Wanshi Tong though, because it's too fast of a clock. Like we just can't let them have a clock that's fast. It's gonna pick up a lot of counters. I mean, not that many counters, but it's dangerous. Okay. I don't need that mana for anything. So we'll just let it go. Island. That's it, huh? Okay. We're shredding. If I were to pick up a lantern, I'd be pretty okay with that. So I currently have them on, it's like an 8-turn clock of mill. Which isn't bad. Versus their 9-turn clock of Snapcaster beat. Problem is they can increase that speed much faster than I'm likely to. Mill the Fatal Push. Mill the Snapcaster. Snapcaster is a good mill. Otawara. That's something? I don't actually know it is something, but it pretends to be something. So I kind of can't let this just resolve, right? Because it's just going to kill me too fast. Damn. Now what I could do is on end step pick up a Saga by sacking Codex Shredder. No, I don't have enough mana. Oh, Jesus. All right, we're in trouble. On the flip side, I don't think they necessarily have an out if I just get a bridge. So if we can find a bridge, might be in good shape. Well, the Saga doesn't save me fast enough right now, so it's not really an option. Okay. If they can increase their damage by even 1, I will die. Okay. Not with what I can see. We have died. They're kicking Consult the Star Charts. Somehow they have another one. Oh, they're flashing back Cling to Dust. Okay. Kaito. I think I have to get rid of that. As long as it's a 3 power. Okay, yeah. That would kill me. Yeah, you can have a counterspell. No, you can't have a counterspell, because if you get a counterspell, then I can't resolve my Whir. Fatal Push is fine. You can have a Fatal Push. And I suppose I can Otawara something if I really needed to live. Spell Snare is fine. Oh, and I have a Whir on top. So assuming they don't have a counterspell in hand, I'm about to stabilize. Probably shoot down the Orc army token here just to save a little extra life. And then if this Whir resolves, we might be in the driver's seat, kind of. Because blue-black's not going to have a lot of ways to beat me. All right. This is what it comes down to. Do they have an answer for this? I don't think they play any taxing style counters, but I'll leave up 3 mana just in case they do. Let's see what they got. Do you have an actual hard counter or not? If you've got a hard counter, I have died. If you do not have the hard counter, I may be winning the game right now. Looks like they have the hard counter. No, this is Consult? No. What's happening? Shuffling, and then they're going to draw. Oh boy. Well, there's a counterspell on top. But I have a Codex Shredder. So I might actually get punched in the teeth here for the way that I chose to do things, because if they have... If they have 2 ways to draw that. So here's where they Consult. And then I mill the counterspell. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, they're clean. So they're going to draw exactly 1 card. Okay, so we're fine. In theory. Unless they have another way to draw a card at instant speed. Did I just mill a counterspell and it's another counterspell? Shoot. I punted by tapping too many of my things. Because I don't know their deck list well enough. So I didn't know that they don't have any taxing counters. I could have checked it, but that's my fault. Okay, so that's my fault. We lost that game because I played around the wrong thing. That's a shame. Otherwise, I think we were probably in good shape for game 1. Anywho, so I don't need Witchbane Orb. I don't need activated abilities. No. Void Mirror. No. Now they're probably going to cut a lot of their creature removal, so I probably can play Emry here. Torpor Orb's still good. Grafdigger's Cage is fine. 2 needles is probably the right number. I could probably go down a bridge, because just the amount of artifact removal they have is probably pretty minimal. I think the counter magic's probably mostly good. Maybe we just swap a bridge for an Emry and call it. Or 2. 2 for 1. Because I think if I get an early Emry to stick and then just start drawing extra cards, it's just going to bury them. This is a spectacular hand.
Okay, going to bottom, because neither of those are lands. Luckily, we have a Mox Opal, which is going directly into play right now. So we do have a second mana. I would like to hit my second land. Ah, sick. Thank you. Thank you, deck. Witching Well. I want to make a witch. Okay. Bridge underneath the Metallic Rebuke. So now I can spew Counterspell because we have the Metallic Rebuke coming up as well. We're going to very slowly kind of roll out these Codex Shredders. Also, I should remember I have Grafdigger's Cage to shut off their cling to dust. So we can't stop them from getting their graveyard recursion card advantage thing. EE on 0. That's probably okay, right? I mean, I know... Oh, they meant to play it on 1. That's fine. Because they definitely meant to play that on 1. They might pop it now. Which is fine. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they have it to beat up on my constructs, but I don't have a Saga yet, so I'm not really fussed about that. And this just means we use the Mox first every single time to cast every single thing we can for now. Sure. You got it. Codex Shredder wasn't doing anything yet, so... Land. Oh, right. I knew the bridge was there. That's all right. Wan Shi Tong. Think I'd rather you didn't? I'd rather you didn't. Just feel like it starts making things awkward very quickly. Oh, that's good. If this sticks, we move into a good spot per quick. Per quick. Show me Counterspell. Okay, that's not Counterspell. Am I cool with them having Orcish Bowmasters? Yes. Certainly. Oh, they're doing stuff. Oh, that's not good. I guess. Nope. Denied. Draw your bowman. See if I care. Boy, if they EE me now, though. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Which means I need to mill over my Whir. Because it doesn't do anything for me. I need to find, that's what I need to find. Okay. I think I'm just going to windmill slam this Ensnaring Bridge here. Wee. You got counter magic? Oh, that's a shame. Okay. You can have consign. So my only bridge is in my graveyard. I have to remember that right now. I don't need this lantern. So we're going to mill that over. Yeah, that's good because that gets me cracking Witching Wells. Hopefully they do field it, but that actually ends up being advantageous for me. Oh, shit. I was supposed to Witching Well in response. That's a big mistake. That's going to cause me a lot of pain down the line. What'd that cost me? 2 damage immediately and then aggregated damage from the giant token. Oh, well. It'll probably be fine, or it won't and we'll die. Either way. Remember when I said they could have that Orcish Bowmaster? That was not a wise thing to say. They're paying costs? I don't like that. Okay, now I gotta crack one of these. First, I'm gonna Codex Shred myself because I don't want this island. Well, it's still an island on top. Sure, why not? And then we'll draw 2. Now they're gonna have a 3rd Bowmasters. Nothing surprises people like the 3rd Bowmasters. At the top of my deck is Counterspell. Excellent. Oh, they hadn't connected. Well, doesn't matter. All right, probably we're probably in big trouble anyway, just because I only have 1 bridge and it's in my graveyard. So I basically have to find Emry right now. That's not Emry. And that's also not Emry. All right. So I think I punted game 1. Game 2, I don't know if there's any way I was winning that one. But I definitely punted game 1. I think we could have won that one. And I probably missed sideboarded in game 2. I want the Emrys because they have limited numbers. They probably board out almost all the removal that they possibly can. But yeah, I mean, first league with a deck, you know. That's how it goes. All right. Gonna see if we get to 3-2 in this final match. Well, we got a mulligan in that hand. Okay. Keep this one. Bottom of Bauble? Bottom of the bridge. Bottom of the Bauble. Opponent also mills. Or mulligans. Okay. Kind of perfect. I'll just pass here. Jeskai control or blue-white control. Okay. This is probably going to be a harder matchup than the Jeskai matchup. They've got more spell-based removal and more planeswalkers. Spell snare on top. Okay. So we'll go Witching Well. Do need another mana. Bottom that. Keep Counterspell on top. If I play Lantern now, they see the Counterspell. So probably I'll just pass this turn. I guess they have a spell snare, so Counterspell is not going to be great. But I certainly do not need them to see it. In fact, I would say I certainly need them to not see it. Because if they know Counterspell is coming, it's going to be... It's easy enough for them to hold up 1 mana. And I don't have a lot of 2 mana spells in general. So I should use the Mox Opal there. Is this worth countering? No, I'll get another Lantern. Bridge, unfortunately, wasn't a great thing to pick up. But that's okay. We'll be just fine. Probably. Maybe not. Who knows? Okay. Here we go. Land off the top. Bam. Well, they countered the last one. I really need to start playing these with the Mox Opal. I really, really do. If I had a Mill Rock, I would fight for this. Problem is they have some devastating potential plays in their deck. Wrath of the Skies. If they wipe my board right now, we're pretty much out of this game, so... Yeah, we can't counter here because they have the spell snare anyway. We do have an Academy Runes in the main deck. We don't have any way to search for it that I know of, but we have the Academy Runes. That's a shame, because I know they have the spell snare, but I probably have to try to do this. And unfortunately, it looks like their draw just worked out real nice against us. And it is what it is. Yeah. There's nothing, like, really worthwhile for them to bounce here, so I guess that's good. But this version of the deck basically doesn't play doesn't play anything that that can remove this. Like, we can needle it, but it's just gonna turn off all our counter magic, and there's nothing we can do about that part. And that's pretty bad. Finally found the 4th mana, so we can start cracking these witching wells. Maybe it will be relevant. Certainly hope so. Because otherwise we are in trouble. I mean, we're already in trouble, but... We have 2 main deck needles, and we currently are staring down 2 targets for needle. Also, they have a ton of exile removal, so they're not afraid of anything that we can set up. They're searching now? Gosh, I hope they don't have Teferi 5. But they probably have Teferi 5. So there's Teferi... yeah? That's awesome. I forgot about Shark Typhoon. God, I love blue-white control. Good for you, opponent. You're absolutely living your best life. If we hit Pithing Needle into the Ensnaring Bridge right now, and that actually does stuff for a while, that would be... oh, well, that's not good. We crashing? Are we really crashing? Or are we fake crashing? Okay, good. Counterspell. Yes, excellent. Good, yes. Oh, Torpor Orb. Excellent. Good. Yes. Okay, Witching Well. Okay, Whir of Invention. Okay, playing the Ensnaring Bridge. I mean, they're gonna remove it. It's not gonna do much, but there is a Whir on top that we're gonna draw into. So, I mean, we were like 80% of the way to the thing we need. Wow. You know what? That's okay. We'll just GG go next. It's fine. Don't worry, opponent. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Okay. So this is an Emry matchup for sure. So let's go Needle in, Bridges out. We'll keep 1. And the Emry's in. Probably don't need Underworld Cookbook. Probably don't need Grafdigger's Cage. Torpor Orb is fine. Grafdigger's Cage, I can't imagine I'll need that. So I think we're good there. The downside of Emry, in a way, is that they're going to keep Solitudes, I imagine, because without it, they're playing Shark Typhoon. I bet they could cut some Solitudes and not have a problem ending the game. Okay. Turn 2 Emry. That's... Yeah. Don't play with that card. And, boy, that was not what I was hoping was going to happen there. Well, hopefully we just natty rip the land. It's got to be blue untapped. So it has to be one of the islands. I think I'm supposed to crack this Bauble. They fetched... Okay, because they've got Spell Snare. That's what that means. Or Consign, so they can counter artifacts. I'm definitely supposed to crack this Bauble, which means I'm not getting the turn 2 Emry. I totally forgot that this enters tapped. Well, it happens, Colby. Okay. Sure. That's cool. I didn't want to play spells this turn anyway. Yeah. So, on you, nerd. I love when Modern's in a place where like blue-white control is doing weird shit like that. I have a response. Orm's chant on your upkeep. I do like both these cards. Pyxis. And then we're going to hold Metallic Rebuke. I don't imagine they'll just jam, but they could. Oh, they're actually reading it. Don't worry, the 7 mana thing is it's not good. You're not... Yeah, I'm not going to use that. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, if they immediately Teferi, it's going to suck, but... No. Jeez. Wow. Opponent, why do you have to hate? Oh, and they have Solitudes. Okay, let's put the Torpor Orb in so it's okay. It's going to be okay. We got the Torpor Orb. And they're not going to counter it because there's no way they would counter Torpor Orb except they have a Spell Snare. Nope. Brain Surge. Wow. Main phase. Brain Surge. I kind of love their list. They've been playing this stuff. Do I want to force through the Emry this turn? Does it matter? No, because I can end of turn Whir. And they'll counter that. And then I have the land on top, which will get me to the... Okay. So we are casting Whir, which they'll Mystical Dispute. Yep. Nope. Go Island. Go Emry. Emry does not trigger, but I already have a Mishra's Bauble in my graveyard, so that's fine. And we will fight over this Emry if we have to. And if the removal that they have for it is Prismatic Ending, first of all, they don't have a third color at the moment. Oh. Shark token. Okay. I have a Witching Well in exile. That's right. They're going to shuffle. All right. Shuffle up. I like big decks and I cannot lie. It's the Urian theme song. And you other serpents can't deny. I like big decks. Oh, no. Get that mess out of here. Come on now. What do you think you're doing, huh? I do think with Emry I should get back my Pyxis, and with the Pyxis I should exile their Monumental Henge. Because that... I believe that that's a problem. Because they can use it to get a bunch of Planeswalkers and stuff. Although, speaking of a bunch of Planeswalkers and stuff, I guess we're getting in a counter war. And I might as well burn out my counters, because if Teferi resolves, I can't cast any. They only have 3 cards in hand, so I should win this one. And that actually should put me in the driver's seat for the rest of this game. Okay. Pending my Lantern. Now, I could just sack it in response. Or I can hit it with Counterspell. So the question... Okay, so if they have Teferi and a Counterspell, then there's no way I can win. Or I can no way I can win the fight that happens this turn. However, if I shuffle my library, because I don't mind them drawing a Plains. Yeah, I'm just going to shuffle my library. I need Humble Pie's plays. I get Domino's ads. They're definitely connected. Yeah, I know, right? And later on in that song, they mentioned Pizza Pizza, which I guess if you're not Canadian, you might not realize, but that's like a pizza franchise. Pizza Pizza is Canada's biggest pizza franchise. It's kind of like halfway between Domino's and Little Caesars. Like, the quality is not super high, but the prices are really good. There you are. If I had an option of which counterspell to play here, it would be this one, unless they're playing Spell Pierce. I doubt they're playing Spell Pierce. But they are playing Spell Snare. So by not playing the counterspell, I'm playing around Spell Snare. Okay. We survived. And they did not attack. Get my lantern back. Do the boot scoot boogie. Heel toe dozy do. Come on, baby, let's go boot scoot. All right. So they're on 0 cards in hand. And I know they're drawing a plains. Okay. I don't have anything to do with the mana on that, so it's fine. They are choosing not to draw that plains. But on the plus side, I have Counterspell Metallic Rebuke up, so whatever they draw is not resolving. They do need to start attacking with this thing. Yeah, I assume so. Notes in an octave because everything's different. Like, for example, right now in Canada, at McDonald's Canada, they have something called the Hockey Hero Burger. And in the States, you have the Big Arch thing going on right now. So, like, they're definitely, like, every corporation is different across the border. At minimum, because that's fine. At minimum, because there's different legal requirements for what can be sold. And I know that when I was working at Starbucks, it was like we had certain types of like yogurt parfaits in Canada. And then when I went to the States, they had completely different ones. And I was figuring out why that was. And the reason was, oh yeah, so some of the things that some of the additives in the States are not legal in Canada. We're more restrictive on. They go Kahira to hand. Okay. We do have 1 Ensnaring Bridge in our deck. We will need to get to it. But first. Solitude on top. Boy, I don't want you to draw that. I'm going to make sure you don't. Pew. Second Solitude on top, but that's okay. Because I can now whir into a Torpor Orb. Sick. Although I should probably whir into the bridge and let them kill my... Oh no, I have a Metallic Rebuke. I can just counter the Solitude. And then I can whir into the bridge afterwards. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, so Tim Hortons, the thing about Tim Hortons is it's not great. It's really not. I like Tim Hortons, but I'm just telling you it's not great. I don't buy their donuts anymore. They're bad. They're like Dunkin'. Like it's not, to be perfectly honest with you, it's mostly not worth eating. And I'm a fast food enjoying gremlin, but it's just not even worth it. It's not even that enjoyable. So here comes the solid dude. Oh wait, I already had the Torpor Orb in play. Okay, so we just get the bridge here while they're tapped down. More fool me. I love Genesis. I wouldn't say I love Genesis, but I like Genesis. Bridge. Okay. Okay. So all I need to do is get more mill rocks, and we basically win the game. Oh, I have Counterspell on top. Kahira. Okay. So game 2 we did win. Looks like. I mean, I'm pretty sure with Counterspell plus what we've got set up in play, this game is won. I do have the downside of I have too many cards in hand. Maybe I should have spewed Metallic Rebuke against that Bauble. So I'm going to take 2 this turn, which is fine. Force of Negation. They're surveilling. Do they want to keep that? They do not. But they keep Jace on top. But that's fine because I have Counterspell. Spell Snare is next. Don't mind the Spell Snare. No, I'll probably exile it because I want to exile my island anyway. Let's spew the Metallic Rebuke. Just because it's probably not going to be useful at any point, and I want my hand smaller. And then I'll Pyxis, because I want to see if I want to activate Mishra's Bauble. I do not. We've got a Whir on top. No, wait, that means I do. Sorry. I do want to Bauble. Okay. So I got 2 draws on my turn. Whir of Invention plus something. Doesn't matter if it's a land. It is a land, but it's the best possible land. It's an Urza Saga. And then I'm going to Emry back. Bauble. Not because I need to draw more cards. Let's Whir for a rock. Oh, they're off it. Okay, game the 3rd. Now, it's possible Archway of Innovation is so that you can play Emrakul. I don't think that's actually what it's for. I think it's for the very niche scenarios where you're able to use it to accelerate out a bridge. Because it's essentially the only thing in the deck where it's worth using. In fact, I think it is the only thing in the deck that's worth using. I mean, you could give your word double improvise, but it doesn't do anything. But you can do it. It is a legal play in Magic the Gathering. Sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? What a tune. Theme from Cheers may be a bit of a meme, but it's a hell of a song. Although it does have a slightly... The third verse, maybe take or leave. Okay, I'm going to keep this. Pyxis is the redundant card. Everything else here is kind of core to theoretically what we're trying to do. We are incredibly vulnerable to just getting like Wrath of the Skies out of this game, but I mean, that's just going to be every game with this deck. I'm going to Needle. I have double Needle here. They're going to crack the Flooded Strand. I'm probably going to name Flooded Strand anyway. Windswept Heath hits the bin. I mean, I could name Scalding Tarn, but I'm pretty sure Flooded Strand is the one that they definitely still have 3 more of, so... That's a fantastic draw. So let's go Shredder. This or Lantern is going to resolve, which means I can then play Emry. And if that somehow doesn't go well, then we're probably in trouble. But we were probably in trouble anyway. Yeah, they're going to counter that. Yeah, that's no problem because I have this. Now, maybe they have Solitude. Maybe they have a different piece of removal for Emry, but we're going to make them do it, so... Wow. That's awesome. Now, they could Orm's Chant me, but it's not really a problem. Yeah, that's no problem. Should attack them for 1. There's really no reason not to. I guess they could be playing Snapcaster Mage. No. Let's consult the star charts. Should I proactively Pithing Needle to Fairy Time Raveler or Jace the Mind Sculptor? I should, and the answer is no, I can't, because I can't play spells this turn anyway. Okay, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Oh, they do have 3 colors. Good for them. But what they don't have is an answer for Emry. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. God bless it. Oh boy, if I get like just absolutely stomped by something here, I'm going to be... That's fine, because they're probably going to tuck Emry. Yeah, that's fine. So they put her 3rd from the top. So let's see. That's a disgustingly good draw. So we're going to mill over the other Emry. We're going to Needle to Fairy. Papa to Fairy. Whoa, slow things down. Let's speed things up. I know, I think that was Time Raveler, actually. Okay. Brain Search. Sure. Well, my Academy Ruins ended up in the bin. Well, that's all right. Did they find something that helps them? They did not. Get milled, nerd. The question is, do I draw more cards or do I... Okay. Metallic Rebuke is losing value. So instead of pretending like it will have that value forever, let's do this now. Now they could force a negation. Something crazy. Okay. Oh, I can Witching Well. That's definitely what we're doing here. Is this or Lantern is the right play? I think it's this. I would love if I could also just attack Teferi, but it's not really. Though I want both these cards. I mean, I guess I kind of already have a Lantern in my hand because I have one in my graveyard, but if I draw that Counterspell, we're probably in great shape because then I get a Lantern and play out of my graveyard, and then I think we're in great. I think we just kind of win. Okay. And that Hall of Storm Giants isn't a problem because I already have the bridge in my graveyard, so I just need to find a turn to play it. And there's no way, it's impossible, it's inconceivable that they have another, something there. So it's actually looking like we're going to win this one. Because Emry is just an absolute champ. Do I care about this? No, I have another lantern right on top. This is fine. And then if they want to attack me with the Hall of Storm Giants once, that's fine too. I have another lantern right there. But if they draw a blank this turn, then I get to save the counterspell for that. No. No. Guess I should have attacked down there to Teferi. I don't know when I was supposed to do that, but... And now that's in exile. Well, this is a problem. Brutal. Boy, that was a good draw. Oh my god. Horrific. Okay. So I'm going to mill myself because I know it's a lantern on top and that doesn't help me. I need to find Whir or the other needle so that I can deal with this Teferi. Brutal. I don't know when I was supposed to attack him down. Probably the turn I played the Witching Well. But did not do that. Nope. Okay. Well, they've got Isochron Scepter on top. That's fine. And I'm drawing an Otawara, which is also... they have Isochron Counterspell. Well, I have an Otawara. I could just blow it up if they try to set that up. Oh, I also could have... No, I... Yes? No, I could have milled in response there. Oh, well. It's just the double prismatic ending there was just insanity. That was too much. They had the counterspell and the double prismatic ending, and it's like, well, yeah, that's okay. Guess that's how that goes. So this is the punt, right? Because the Otawara is staring them in the face. Although I guess it doesn't solve Teferi, so it's not really a mistake because well, jeez. Well, at least I draw a counterspell, but the Teferi is just going to bury me very quickly. Brutal. Shoot. We were doing pretty okay there for a while. But I think I made a mistake not attacking the Teferi down. I was overconfident in my Pithing Needle. And if I bounce the Isochron Scepter, they can set up Isochron Surgical Extraction, which is probably not good, but pretty funny. And I have Counterspell on top. All right, I'm going to scoop this one up. I think I punted this one by not attacking down the Teferi. So that's a shame. Could have been 3-2. Not guaranteed that it would have been 3-2. This is surprisingly good. Obviously, there are certain matchups that are going to be really tough. The Sven Speeder Sven deck, I think, is really tough with Flame of Anor and Snapcaster Mage and all that. But beatable. I think there's probably a lot that you could do with the toolbox setup, but I do like the counter magic and the counter magic combined with prison. With the one downside being like, so the bridge thing never came up, and I think in those matchups you're probably supposed to like very aggressively be countering stuff and or boarding out your counters, so it's less of a problem. It would be nice to have like a ratchet bomb or something similar to that to actually be able to kill stuff, or maybe blast zone. But I don't know. I like this a lot. I don't know if I'm going to play it more, but I like it a lot. And if you are looking for a lantern list, this is pretty darn good. If you're watching this on the future,
on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button.